Welcome to another tutorial. Today we're talking about how to set up your grid for indoor. So here's a couple things that I do to set up my grid for indoor. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to File, Document Options, Preferences, Real View Perspective here. I'm going to click on High School Stadium. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put Rectangular Indoor Basketball Gym, and then hit OK. Now it looks more like an arena. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Grid Designer. Now you'll have to know the exact measurements of your floor. Okay, and there's some presets here. You can go down to presets and hit load. So depending on what you have, you can create your own grid. So my groups usually like to have the 8-to-5 grid, and then you can see there's several different kinds: 45 foot by 80, 50 by 100, 50 by 75, whatever your size is. Find the one that closest matches. Like 50 by 70 is kind of a typical, or a 60 by 90, and then start there and then hit open, and you'll see that the grid automatically shrinks. This is still an 8-to-5 setup, left to right, and then when you teach the drill you can use these as 50, 45, and 40. Put cones down 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and your groups can kind of use that as their grid terminology. There's a lot of things you can do here to modify the step size. If you wanted to change it up and just make it, feet instead of steps, you can do that. You can change how thick the lines are, that sort of thing. Like sideline weight, you can make that 2, then hit OK, and you'll notice it gets a little bit thicker in the front. It's up to you, completely your choice. Measure outwards, flip the orientation, kind of typical stuff. So this is a really easy way to kind of set your floor, but you do have to know exactly how big your floor is before you get into this. So let's go ahead and go to Document Options, Real View Perspective. I like to put a black floor just on there, black. Good. Now, all right, so the next thing I do is I'll zoom in on this to make this bigger. So I select here the move the grid area tool, and then I just hit Option and click, so it fills up my screen. And then from there, unclick. From there, I do a floor cover. So I'm going to click the floor cover tool. I'm going to come down here and maybe get a quarter step resolution. I'm going to go just to the corner of my grid and bring it up to the corner of my grid here. And that looks about right. And I'm going to hit accept. Go back and click on my floor cover tool. Now I'm going to put the JPEG of the image of the tarp, so whatever the group is using for their performance. So I'll click on choose a floor cover image, navigate to where the file is. Mine's on my desktop, and it's called Galaxy. Double click, and there you go. Now it fills up the spot. Now a little pro tip here, just to make sure that you don't cover up all your yard lines and that sort of thing, is you can go to floor opacity and put in 10%, especially if it's a dark one. And you'll see that it kind of grays it out. Okay, if you want it a little bit lighter, you can just kind of play with the opacity until you like it. This would be maybe 45%. You can start to see it. Then in your designing, if you did want to put a big line kind of down the center of the galaxy that's in the middle here, you'd be good to go. And then when you look at it on the real view as well, you can see that the grid is on top of that, the tarp is there, and the group can rehearse and learn your drill. Now, what's cool about using this grid and making it this way, and using the template and all that, is that you get the use of coordinate cards. So in this case, I just made a performer here, and you can see that they are in front of this 5. Now that's going to show up as the 5-yard line when you go to print the coordinates. So at this point, this person is 2 in front of the 5-yard line, and then it'll give a left to right, so probably 4 steps outside the 50. And then I just moved them 16 counts so we could see they run to the front sideline. It looks like maybe 3 inside the 45. So let's just check that and make sure that the coordinate cards are working. Print preview. And it looks like, as we look at it, 4 steps outside the 50, 2 in front of the 5-yard line, like we said. And then the next set, they were on the front sideline, 3 inside the 45. So you can use the coordinate card function, and it really helps in rehearsal. So I hope this tutorial has been a help to you, and leave any comments if you have any questions, or get in contact with me if you need any more clarification.
So I hope this was helpful to you. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like these Pyware videos.